Hi guys, so this is my presentation. The title of my PowerPoint is Minority Representation for Children for Our Future. So the way I'm ending it is that the main purpose and focus for showing minorities in media is for children. That's not to say it's not important for everyone all around to see an influence of minorities. However, my focus will be on children. For my second slide, you would have normally saw that the main purpose of my focus is showing minorities in media. There's many avenues you can go by this. You could say, music or culture, and that's all great. But for this particular PowerPoint, I'm focusing solely on the fact that we should just be able to see on positive role models of different minorities from, Indians, American Indians. Just we need to see a lot more of the culture. Hollywood, along with most mass media, magazines, even children's illustrations and posters have a very limited variety of minorities in their, availability. It's very hard to see that. The first clip I was going to show in my presentation was going to be from a BuzzFeed clip. It was an array of children getting a chance to first time meet the new line of Barbies that has been put out for a few years now. And the Barbies all come in different shapes and sizes and different varieties and different minorities. Of course, it's Barbie, so it's not as vast as I would like to see it, but it is the beginning stages of having dolls with a lot more that are popular, with a lot more variety. The video was going to just drive home. It was about a 2-minute video, and it was just going to show that children do receive these differences well. And with a lot of the studies I saw in articles, parents are wanting this. More and more people want to see and want to have their children impacted by tools and toys that do help them see the world in a less limited view. My third clip was why minorities are needed. It's very clear that the more we expose children to positive things, the more they find it normal. The less that we expose them to, the more fear or more misunderstanding that can be brought up. And as we know today, there's a lot of political things happening, and that's just more opportunities for kids to see that they don't need to be fearing people who they don't understand or don't get to interact with, but they just need to be filled with that same knowledge. My video I was going to show was of a actor. He just got put into the Times magazine as one of 100 most people to watch. But the most interesting part, the small clip I was going to show, was just that his main excitement for being on the cover of the magazine wasn't that it was for him. He personally felt that he's excited for the children in his sphere, or someone that looks at him and finds a connection with him, culturally or just minority or skin wise, that they can look at that and see that that could be a possibility for them. And so that just drives home to, again, that a big reason we need to show minorities is to give children a visual of their possibilities. A lot of times they're not shown, so a lot of times children don't think or feel that they can go to that avenue. So that's where I was going to show that clip. My next one was more and more experts and articles are saying that the lack of showing a minority does impact a child in how they see themselves in the world and how they see others, which is why it's very important to show all minorities, to show them in a positive light, not in just a stereotypical negative light, to help just grow that self-esteem and, of course, that ability and empathy. My second to last slide was just the definition from the book Bridge Work, which essentially is that bridge work is not just the responsibility of the TV hosts and the celebrities and, our government. It's our personal responsibility. Everybody has a little piece to add to the pot of how children see the world, how children respond to different people of the world, and how we respond has a great deal to do with that. Another piece I wanted to remind us as a group is that money talks. So what you spend your money on does influence what's going to be shown. If you go to movies where there are minorities and different things, if you do vote, if there's an opportunity, if there are products that do support that, that does have an effect. Your whatever you spend, what kids see you spend money on, it does help them decide what's important and what's not. And lastly, after all of that of my presentation, I wanted to share just kind of the practical and more of a Q&A. Since the focus on my presentation and PowerPoint is children, I wanted to make it very easy for all of us to get involved. You don't need to have a child right now to influence a child. A lot of us have nieces, cousins, nephews, brothers, sisters, even in our workplaces, people we know that right now, with everything happening in the world, are being affected by this sort of climate. So simple things, when or if you're around children, don't just grab the easiest toy. Look for different minority toys. In my PowerPoint, I show pictures of different dolls from different minorities. There are a lot more options nowadays. You might mean you have to buy online. You might have to look online for a particular Barbie. You might have to, get one and save it for the future. There are a lot of books. There's a book called What Does It Mean to Be Global? And that's written by, I believe, let me look this up, Rana Diano. There are plenty of opportunities that are very simple to just introduce children to the vast variety of people out there in the world in a very positive and natural way. Movies like Coco that are showing heritage of Mexico, and Moana and different things, all those little pieces do come together that help shape a child's world, not fearing somebody who's different or somebody that is unlike them, but rather letting them see that they are people just like them, and there's nothing to be discarded or disrespected. It's a very good opportunity. More practical ways are, pointing out or not pointing or stopping negative stereotypes. So, children asking questions about different ethnicities. Instead of hushing children or telling children they can't talk about it, look it up. Ask them, say, I don't know, but we can look that up. Pointing out beautiful women of different ethnicities or men, giving positive notes about it, complimenting somebody's hair that's different than them. Oftentimes children's negatives oftentimes make a parent or a person uneasy because that is seen as a negative. But for children in the developmental world, when they say a negative, it's because they're kind of asking a question. So if a child comes up to you and says that outfit or that person is ugly, it's very good to answer with a question, because oftentimes children just do not understand. So just filling in positive things, and also being careful what you buy, because just because something looks very ethnic or very cultural doesn't mean it's the correct culture. And so we also want to make sure we have correct, knowledgeable resources for children. And then the rest of my time was going to be just a Q&A, any questions people may have had. And yeah, thank you for my presentation time.